Hey folks, Cal Kaiser here, Remax Island Properties. We're pretty excited today because we want to talk about a product that everybody is talking about right now with houses, and that's Poly B. And we've got a professional with us today. We got Kylene here from Coastal Community. Thanks for coming.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, you bet. No, we're really excited about it. And for those of you that don't know what Poly B is, it's basically a plumbing material that was brought in to replace copper. And so in around 1980, it started to get used, and it was used extensively till about 1997. The problem with it, though, is it has a shorter lifespan than most other materials,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
And now we use PEX, which is fantastic,
Which seems to be the going product
the
at this
going
point in
product.
time. Yeah.
But why don't you just
Yeah.
tell us some of the issues we have in insurance and the
Absolutely.
product itself?
So we are experiencing issues with Poly B. We are having some struggles with finding insurance coverage for people who are looking at purchasing homes right now.
Right.
It's becoming very difficult because a lot of companies just really are not offering the coverage, or what they're doing is they are requesting higher deductible limits in the event that there's Poly B plumbing inside those homes.
Right, right.
So what was going on with the Poly B plumbing is they kind of were saying it had between a 25 to a 30-year lifespan, which we're right there. The Poly B plumbing is now starting to split. And so it is caught in your walls, and it is causing extensive damage to your homes, which then can also cause mold growth. Now, in the very beginning of Poly B, they had plastic fittings at the ends of the tubing.
Like
so
the joints,
like
right.
the joints. So I do have a little sample here.
Excellent.
So this side over here, the gray plastic, is
Yes.
the Poly B. It does have the copper crimp, which is what people keep telling me in the insurance field. I have the good Poly B.
Yeah.
There really is no good Poly B.
Right, right.
But it did have the copper crimps, and everybody's Poly B that had the plastic did need to be replaced with the copper crimps.
Got it.
And then, of course, as Cal mentioned, we are now replacing with PEX. So how this is sort of looking with regards to people who are purchasing homes with Poly B, some insurance companies are requiring that the Poly B be removed and or replaced with the PEX prior to being able to obtain insurance coverage.
Wow.
How this will work with the buyer, with the seller,
Yeah, it's a challenge, right?
it is an absolute
Yeah, because
challenge.
it's really involved.
It
You
is
have to
very
get
involved.
in. There's drywall damage that
Absolutely.
happens, and it's a big job for
It
sure.
is a big job. And you hit the nail on the head right there. Is a lot of people don't think about the removal of the drywall and having to have that all replaced and the remediation for it. But yes, it is getting very expensive. So I have had the Poly B replaced in my home, and I was very lucky that it was not as extensive as some of the other homes that I've been hearing
Right.
about.
Yeah, so if you've got
So-
a drop ceiling or you're on a
Absolutely.
crawl space
Yep.
and you're a rancher, pretty
Yep.
easy to get access. You just
Absolutely.
pull the pipe and replace. I mean, it still costs
Totally.
money, but it's not too bad. Right?
Exactly,
Okay,
exactly.
so you got lucky.
I did get very lucky and
yeah.
replaced it before we had any issues. We never
Perfect.
had any water issues in my home, thank
Great.
goodness. But,
Okay.
you know, I mean, there has been a recent claim where somebody did have a burst pipe from Poly B. It was a $20,000 claim.
Wow.
And the replacement of the polybutylene plumbing is now on the insured, and it has to be done prior to renewal of the policy.
Sure.
So,
Okay. So
Yeah.
it's something we can't avoid. It's
That's
going to be
right.
dealt with.
absolutely.
So what's the best way to deal with it now? So I've heard of this product or a tool that you can get that actually will sense when the
Yes.
water pressure goes down, and
Yep.
that's a one way to get by it. Is that true?
It can be. So again, you have to reach out to your insurance provider to find out whether or not this will work for the particular company you're insured
Right.
with. So these are called water mitigation systems. And what they are little sensors. And as you had mentioned, they sense whether there's increase or decrease in pressure. Some can even indicate whether or not there's any frozen pipes.
Okay.
And they will either send out a beeping, or you can even get a notification on your cell phone. They're so smart now, you can request that it shut it off right at that point.
Wow.
But one thing I do want to touch on with the Poly B is when you are looking around your home to try to find it, because a lot of times your plumbing is behind your walls.
Right.
Under your sink, sometimes you can see it, but a lot of times you may have those copper stub outs and think that you have copper plumbing, but you don't know what's behind that wall.
Right.
So sometimes, again, you can see it around your hot water tank, unless your hot water tank's been replaced. Sometimes there can be PEX because they're not going to incorporate that poly B back onto the copper pieces for the hot
Right.
water tank.
Because they can't even find it. You can't
That's
buy
right.
it anymore.
You
So,
can't.
yeah.
No, it's been discontinued.
Okay.
So suggestions on how to find it if you have those drop ceilings. Again, kind of dig a little bit deeper in behind any access points that you may have. So maybe around your water,
Right.
where it comes into your home,
Sure.
those types of things. But yeah, and then one other really, really quick thing that I actually ran into today, or sorry, 2 days ago, I was offering a quote for a client, and they had seen white plumbing around the hot water tank. They thought
Right.
it was PEX, but it was actually painted. So
Painted poly B.
painted poly B. So
Not recommended, folks. Don't paint your poly B. Oh my God.
absolutely, because yeah, I mean,
Wow.
it could just cause catastrophic damage
Yeah.
in the
For
home.
sure.
Yeah.
And could that actually invalidate the insurance?
It could if you knew that there was poly
Right,
B in the
right.
home.
Hard to prove.
If it is really,
Got
it's
it.
a very, very difficult thing. Like that's a very, very fine line
Okay.
as to what you do there. Yeah.
So the bottom line is, if you suspect you have poly B, confirm
Let
it.
us know.
Let us know.
Tell
And-
your insurance agent.
And get it replaced
Yeah.
as quickly as possible, because it just has to
Absolutely.
get done.
It does.
There's no shortcuts here.
There isn't.
Okay.
Nope.
Well, I really appreciate your time and for sharing that and letting us know what's going
Well,
on.
thank you again for having me, Callie. I appreciate that.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks
Thank you.
again. You bet. Bye.
Bye.